appears that at least according to reports, more than one woman has basically, you know, accused JJ Redick of being a suspected racist. But I'm gonna say to you, black women, that's what you get to a certain degree for messing with a dude like him. At the end of the day, um, a lot of y'all love to brag about how dating him is just such a sensation, and the grass is greener on the other side, but really the grass is turning brown right between your eyes. Basically, you know what I'm saying, losing this coloration. So this doesn't surprise me. But my thing is with LeBron James, this is going to be really shaky on LeBron James' reputation by basically you co-signing for a suspected racist to get hired as the head coach. But at the end of the day, you got to just keep it a buck. I know the LeBron stance is not going to like this, but to a certain degree, LeBron James comes across as a fake activist. Okay, fine. He called out the Jerry Jones situation, but yet he didn't defend Kyrie Irving. He basically let everybody come after Kyrie Irving. And then if you look at LeBron James had like in his 20 plus year NBA career, LeBron James has had like 7 or 8 coaches. And for a dude that posed to be so, you know, pro-black, he sure seemed to like to get black coaches fired. You know, he's got at least 4 black coaches fired, maybe 2 white coaches fired. And then he tried to get Eric Spoelstra fired. So you just have to say LeBron James is real suspect right now. But at the end of the day, you don't see Malika Andrews saying anything about this because she's a fraud too. She only has selective outrage. She didn't sit up there and call Pat McAfee out for what he said about Caitlin Clark. But then this is the same Malika Andrews when a man had just lost his life. And Adrian Payne lost his life getting involved in a situation that didn't even have nothing to do with him because he got talked into it by his girlfriend. Basically went over there to call himself, trying to, you know, intervene and play mediator for a possible domestic situation. And then he ended up getting shot and losing his life, you know. And I'm talking about the man wasn't even, you know, in the ground, and she brought what allegedly happened to him in college, which, by the way, it was dismissed because they didn't have enough evidence because they believed the person in question was lying. But she doesn't have no problem going in on black men. And then when you bring these things up, people will try to say, you even have black people say, oh, color doesn't have nothing to do with it. Or you have non-blacks who, once again, this ain't none of your fucking business. Stay out of black people's business. You know, if you ain't black, if you non-black, this don't have nothing to do with you. Mind your own fucking business. And then you will have white people, of course, the Caucasians, that will say you're a race baiter. Well, you know what? I am a race baiter. Yep. I got my race trap. I got my, you know, my hook, and I'm throwing the bait in the water and see if somebody's going to, you know, bite onto it. And you do. Because at the end of the day, it's funny how everybody want to holler racism towards Caitlin Clark. But then when the racism is directed towards us, then all of a sudden, you finna get blocked, dude. Punchy, you're blocked. Boom. So that was easy. Go away. Yeah, I guess y'all ain't heard about me. Don't come on here playing on my channel. But like I said before, people love to play these games. All of a sudden, it's racism and oppression with Caitlin, which is complete cap. But then when we claim racism, it's not there. What are you talking about? Oh, you're race baiting. Oh, it's critical race theory. So it ain't critical race theory or race baiting with Caitlin Clark. Okay, nice try though. It's funny how, you know, the so-called dominant race want to define what's racism and what isn't racism by their standards. They think everything revolves around what they think, what they like, what they don't like. And they seem to think that their opinion is the only ones that matter. So like I said about LeBron James looking real suspect right now. This is not a good look. Now, we know at the end of the day, they'll do a quick walk by. They'll just mention it, but I promise you they won't have these long segments. I don't think anybody asked him about that, when he was announced as the Lakers coach, because they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. It's only news when it involves a black person. That's the only time it's news. That's the only time when people care, when it involves a black man, not no person of color, a black man. And we know what's going to happen. You're going to have people do the typical rhetoric, the typical double standard. Well, that was a long time ago. So, we need to move on from stuff like that. But hey, they love bringing up black people's past. There's no limit. There's no statute of limitation when it comes down to bringing up a black person's past. Like I say, they'll go far back as kindergarten. They'll say, in kindergarten, he got into a fight. So he has a long history of this. But then when it comes to their history, it's off limits. Leave it alone. Just like the same thing with Eminem making those racist songs towards black women and black people. Not only did you have white people defending him, you had black people defending him. And like I said, this is why black men are not taken serious. This is why nobody respects us. But the thing about me, I'm not finna defend stuff like that. Just like you got Deion Sanders' coon-ass sons defending Ryan Garcia. I told you Deion Sanders is a coon, and he raised his sons to be coons. And you can send this to Deion Sanders. That's why I really don't mess with him like that. This is the same Deion Sanders that defended Riley Cooper. Stephen A. Smith, oh yeah, I know he don't have no problem responding to Dez Bryant, but he ain't said nothing about JJ Redick. I told you. But the thing is with Stephen A. Smith, you see in the early stages of Stephen A. Smith, he gonna have a breakdown on live TV because it's starting to get to him. Stephen A. Smith should be at the point to where he don't even respond to any. He's starting to respond to any and everybody, which shows me that it's getting under his skin. No, he's not gonna talk about JJ Redick's past because he's not black. But he loved to be the Negro whisperer, always waving his finger at black people, talking about what we need to do, what we shouldn't do. Like I said before, Stephen A. Smith is a Sambo. Deion Sanders is a Sambo. His kids is Sambos. You're supposed to have integrity. You're supposed to have morals about you. You're supposed to have substance. But yet here it is. Deion Sanders' son is defending a cheater who cheated against a black fighter. And by the way, that stuff about Devin Haney asking DAZN to remove the footage, that was a complete lie. Another attempted smear and slander campaign against Devin Haney. And that's all it come down to. But yeah, that's what's going to go on. They may talk about it, but they're not going to have these long segments. And if they do have a segment, of course, they're going to say we need to move on, just like the situation with Josh Allen, tweeted using the N-word and all that kind of stuff. Like I say, black people love to forgive and give a pass to their oppressor. Or, what I was saying, their non-black oppressor. Or possible op. We love defending people that don't look like us. We got all this vitriol and hatred towards each other. Don't have no problem pulling out a weapon and trying to do harm to each other. Just like celebrating Juneteenth in Oakland, there was some kind of shooting. Now, to be fair, Oakland isn't primarily black anymore. Just like I exposed those sideshows, those people that are participating in them sideshows, they ain't even from Oakland. They coming from the other side of the bridge, the other side of the water. They coming from San Mateo, Palo Alto, places like that, and they're not black. So I wouldn't, and then a lot of times I don't put anything past the government. I wouldn't be surprised if some of this stuff is orchestrated. Keep in mind, it is election year. You know, strange things seem to happen, you know, election year. When certain politicians are trying to make some kind of political stance against something or whatever their political agenda is. So be careful of that. But yeah, I'm just saying, she ain't gonna say nothing about that. You see how she act like she was in pain when she had to bring up Josh Giddey or the Gittler, who been traded to the Chicago Bulls. I just find that mighty strange. Every time something happened pertaining to black people, something happened. Y'all have to watch out for that kind of stuff. Well, that's what he does. So I just want to know what's up with all of the non-talk about JJ Redick. When he gonna say something about JJ Redick? And like I say, LeBron looking real bad right now. Like I said, LeBron James, he didn't got more black coaches fired than he have white coaches. But he supposed to be so, you know, he supposed to be pro-black. He supposed to be an activist, but he showed like getting black coaches fired. That's fact. Stephen A. Smith never had the same energy. And this is why nobody takes him serious. This is why nobody respects him. He's not respected anymore. Like I say, how come their pass is off limits? How come they pass have an expiration date or a statute of limitation, but ours don't? They can bring it up at any time. And Stephen A. Smith, he can't defend Malika Andrews, and it's time that Malika Andrews further get called out on her hypocrisy and her double standards. So, LeBron, you looking real bad right now, brother. You really are. And somebody got to say this. And I know the LeBron James fanboys is going to defend him, but that's okay. That's typical. That's typical. I'm used to it. LeBron James, they got 4 black coaches fired or forced him to resign because he tries to undermine. That's the thing. He shouldn't have this kind of power. He undermines everybody, and particularly black men. Just like he's sitting up here forcing the Lakers to draft his son. His son is not NBA ready. It's been proven. Most of the scouting reports already said that his Bronny James is just not NBA ready. But yet he's forcing the team to draft him, or he's going to leave. LeBron should leave. At this point, LeBron James is irrelevant now to a certain degree. He isn't what he was like 8 years ago. You've been seeing LeBron James falling off. So my thing is, LeBron can't hide behind this. He need to be asked, did you know all this went on with JJ Redick? And JJ Redick denied it, but now you got multiple women. So my thing is, everybody is paying attention to these multiple women that's coming out making accusations towards Diddy. And my thing is with Stephen A. Smith, you talking about Diddy, and that ain't even a sports story. So why aren't you talking about JJ Redick? And then when people calls him out on his double standard, then he gets mad and he tries to talk shit. Well, nigga, do your job. Keep it balanced. Anyway, it's your boy Tam. Got to get to work. I'll be back.